Hello, good morning to all of you students. Today we are going to start second section and first unit, that is general principles of pre-stressed concrete member. Okay, earlier we have covered now the RCC, that is reinforced concrete. Okay, and in that we have designed various structural elements and structure, okay, by using Lebesgue method. Okay, so this is now new concept, that is pre-stressed concrete. Okay, like we have seen the RCC, reinforced cement concrete. Here this is pre-stressed concrete. Okay, and we have to see what is principle, general principle. So today is our first lecture of this on pre-stressed concrete member. So first we are going to see the principle. Before going to start to this pre-stressed concrete member, just we are going to revise what we have seen, okay, in RCC. Okay, and I'm going to ask few questions to you people and just think over it, and why there is a need of pre-stressed concrete, that we are going to see. So see, when we have started Lebesgue method, we have considered one beam. Okay, that beam is loaded with dead load, live load. Okay, and if you have considered the supports there, okay, simple support, the beam is going to bend like this. Okay, and in this beam, tension will be this side and compression this side. Okay, and if you are going to see if you are going to cut beam here, okay, and if you are going to see the cross section of beam, you are going to see like this. Sorry, here online I cannot draw the correct diagram, so please try to understand. So if this is beam, okay, having the width and the total overall depth is D here. Okay, and somewhere here neutral axis is here. Already you people know what is neutral axis. The axis which we are going to divide is the compression zone and tension zone. Okay, so as you can see here, the beam at top of beam, this is compression zone, and here is the tension zone. We have made assumptions in RCC. We are going to use two material, that is steel reinforcement and the concrete. So here, why we have selected the material concrete and steel? Because concrete is very strong in compression and weak in tension, and vice versa, steel is very strong in tension but weak in compression. Okay, so here, as per the bending moment, okay, as per the behavior of this beam, already we know that at top the beam will be subjected to the compression and bottom tension. Once again here I will draw that beam. So if this beam is going to fail, the beam is going to fail like this. Okay, so this top part beam is in compression and bottom fiber of beam is in tension. So if you are going to consider the cross section here, okay, so tension is at bottom. So due to that, already we are aware that where is the maximum tension, that part we are going to provide the reinforcement. So here at the bottom face we are going to provide the reinforcement. So this we have provided as a AST, area of steel in tension, and top fiber of the beam is in compression, so we have provided the concrete here. Okay, so this is in concrete, and along with this we have provided here, we have provided concrete at bottom side also, okay, below the neutral axis in tension zone. But we have made one assumption. The assumption is that all tensile stresses should be taken by steel in RCC. Okay, and the contribution of concrete regarding the tensile stresses is completely ignored. Okay, so my question to you people is this: when the contribution of concrete neglected inattention. So what is role of this concrete which we have placed in a tension zone? Okay, the role of this concrete in a tension zone. Okay, for which purpose we are going to use this concrete? Okay, half of the section, the whatever the beam we are going to consider the dimensions, the half dimension, nearly half dimension, in half dimensions we are going to provide the concrete. Okay, and if we are going to provide, if we are going to provide, see, if we are going to provide, so if you are going to provide the concrete at intention place, the role of concrete, this concrete is only to place this reinforcement in a proper position, only binding material for this tensile steel only. There is no other role of this concrete. We have seen the our stress block diagram also. In stress block diagram also we have considered only when you are drawn the stress block diagram. Okay, like we have drawn the stress diagram, and at this part only we have considered the compression force, tension force. Here we have considered Cu, and here we have considered the Tu. Okay, so contribution of concrete we have considered in this compression force, but contribution of this concrete we have ignored, and we have compared for balance sections Cu is equal to Tu, and we have derived the various formulas. Okay, by considering the this stress block parameter and these assumptions, based upon this assumption. So if there is no role of this concrete in tension part, in regarding the considering the stresses, the part, okay, stresses and design part, so only, so this section is not in full use. Okay, are you getting my point? When you are not using the concrete, this part of concrete you are not using for any design aspect. Okay, this is only waste, this is going to bind only this reinforcement. Okay, so to overcome this part, okay, to overcome this part, the new concept has arrived, and that is called as a pre-stress concreting. And what happened in pre-stress concreting, that we are going to later on. Okay, are you getting my point? So my point is this: in RCC, so in RCC, the tension and compression zones, in tension zone we are going to provide the concrete. The concrete is not useful to take any stresses in the member. Okay, and that's why the section is not used effectively, means we are not using this concrete property for member. Okay, and in pre-stress concreting the care is taken of this concrete also. Okay, and that's why the advantage of pre-stress concreting over RCC is more. Okay, because in pre-stress concreting we are going to use the, you are going to take the advantage of the full section of the beam. Okay, here this part of concrete is ineffective, no use in RCC, but in pre-stress we are going to try to take advantage of the full section. Okay, so after just I have asked some question to you people and given the answer, so you people now clear that things, what are the disadvantages in RCC structure. Okay, is the sections which we are going to design in RCC, those are not fully utilized their cross sections. Okay, means the strength of full strength of cross sections they are not using. Okay, now we are going to see the next part. So introduction, what is mean by now pre-stress concreting? Already I have told you, to overcome with that RCC part, the section is not fully effective. Okay, to make that structure, that section fully effective, the new concept is come, and that is pre-stress concreting, pre-stress concrete, sorry. And in introduction, first we are going to see what is meant by pre-stress concrete member. The member, okay, the member of concrete in which the internal stresses are introduced in a planned manner so that the stresses resulting from the superimposed loads are counteracted to a desired degree. Okay, getting definition: a member of concrete in which the internal stresses are introduced. Internal stresses we have to introduce in planned manner. Okay, how to introduce that we are going to see later on, so that stresses resulting from the superimposed load. The superimposed load is in terms of dead load and live load. Okay, those load are counteracted to the desired degree. Means, see now this just I am going to explain this definition. So see, this is first diagram. The beam is subjected with the load. Okay, this is UDL, subjected with the load. And second thing, the beam is going to bend like this. As you know, in RCC this beam is going to bend like this. But before going to apply the loads on beam, okay, if beam is not in service, in that case, if you are going to stress this beam, okay, if you are going to stress this, if you are going to apply the compression forces on this beam. See, if you are going to apply the compression forces at beam, so to apply the forces here, the tendon is introduced. We are going to see later on what is tendon and all things. And with the help of this tendon, first we are going to apply the forces on this tendon. We have to stretch the tendon, and then we are going to cut the tendon. And after cutting the tendon, this forces is going to act reverse, and the compression force is going to act on this beam. When the forces is going to act on beam, the profile of beam is like this. Please remember one thing, before going to use the member, okay, that suppose we are going to design, construct a girder, beam girder, okay, and in factory we are going to cast the girder, and that girder is a pre-stress girder. In that case, initially we are going to apply some compression forces at the bottom of the beam. And please see that if you are going to see this figure number 4, if you are going to press this beam at two corners, the behavior of beam like this. And what happen, this diagram is exactly opposite to the bending moment diagram. When you are going now, this beam you are going to take and you are going to place on the site, and then you are going to apply the load. Okay, and after application of load, initially you have introduced these compression forces. Okay, and due to that, after you are going to apply the load on this in whatever the stresses you have introduced, new stresses you have introduced due to these compression forces, these stresses are going to counteract these two forces going to counteract the superimposed load. Superimposed load in terms of dead load and live load. Okay, clear? Again I am repeat. So before any beam, if you are going to take subjected simply supported beam, the behavior of beam like this. Okay, you know that beam is going to behave like this. But instead of this, before going to cast this beam on site, okay, initially we are going to introduce this thing, internal stresses introduced in a planned manner. Planned manner means with some eccentricity we are going to place one tendon here, we are going to stretch the tendon, we are going to cut the tendon, and then after cutting, whatever the stress you are apply, that stress again going to come reverse, and these two forces is going to press the beam. The beam is going to act like this, and after this we are going to take this beam on site and we are going to place, and then we are going to apply the superimposed load on the beam. And then when we are going to apply the superimposed load, those superimposed loads are counteracted to the desired degree. Whom this is going to counteract, because already this shape is like this. If you are going to apply the load, there is a no deflection or there is a no bending moment. Okay, and if there is a no bending moment, no deflection, this beam is not going to crack. Okay, see here, no difference. The reinforced concrete structure, a typical load like this here, the beam is going to bend like the reinforcing. Okay, the bars here, the reinforcing bar here, and there are cracks. Okay, but in pre-stressing tendons, if you are going to apply the tendon here and we are going to stress and then we are going to cut the tendon, the beam is going to behave like this. And this beam, if in full service, this load going to act on this beam, and then this beam is going to behave like this. So there is no tension of bending moment, on the beam extra, and there is no chance of cracks in the beam. So this is pre-stressed concrete concept. Hope that all you got this thing. Okay, so next part. So what we have seen in the RC concrete, reinforced concrete. So concrete strong in compression and weak in tension. Okay, steel strong in tension and weak in compression. Reinforced cement concrete uses concrete to resist compression and hold bar in a position, and uses steel to resist the tension. Okay, already I have discussed this part. The steel is going to resist tension only, and the concrete, okay, concrete resists compression and hold bars in position, and uses steel to resist the tension. Tensile strength of concrete is neglected. Okay, in RCC we have made assumption that no, concrete should not take any tensile stresses. Okay, so RC beam allow cracks under service load. So just we have seen the RC beam allow the cracks here. In the tension zone, member will be develop cracks. In tension zone, the member is going to develop the cracks. Beam sizes also required large for the long span. In RCC, the beam sizes is required large for long span because maximum bending moment. Okay, so this is about the RC concrete. And why I have told this thing here, earlier we have discussed. So this thing here, the tensile strength of concrete is neglected. So this part of concrete, if you are going to consider, this is new, sorry so if this is neutral axis, the role, the concrete here in this part, okay, the tensile strength of concrete is neglected. So that's I want to tell you, and that's why bending moment is more for the large span. Okay, so beam size also required for large for the long span. So next thing here, now you are going to see in detail what is pre-stressed concrete member. In this pre-stressed concrete member, pre-stressed concrete member, all the above defects and weaknesses are made up. The which defects we have seen in the RCC member. Pre-stressed concrete is a method in which compression force is applied to the reinforced concrete section. Okay, already I have told you that we are going to apply the compression forces in a tension zone. So see, please once again, pre-stressed concrete, in pre-stressed concrete, method in which compression force is applied to the reinforced concrete section. So see here you can see here the compression force is going to apply. If you are going to pull this and if you are going to cut, so compression force, this compression force going to act. So this beam is no compression, this is in a compression. Okay, so this part is in a compression. So method compression forces is applied to the reinforced concrete section. The effect of pre-stressing is to reduce the tensile stresses in the section to the point till the tensile stresses is below the cracking stress. Thus the concrete does not crack. The aim of the pre-stressed concreting, that section will not having any tensile stresses. That section we want to be in full compression stress. Okay, so there is no need of steel, any extra steel required other than the tensile other than the tendons. Okay, so aim of pre-stressed concreting is to make the section is full in compression. Okay, section till the tensile stresses, and if there is a minimum tensile stresses, those tensile stresses we can allow those stresses the concrete which can take. Okay, otherwise we are not going to allow any tensile stresses in a pre-stressed concrete member. It is then possible to treat the concrete as a elastic material when the section or section is in compression. In that case we are going to say that the concrete is a elastic material. Concrete can be visualized to have two compressive forces, that is internal pre-stressing force and external pre-stressing force due to dead load and live load. See here, the internal force. When you are going to apply the compression force, the internal stresses is like this, and when we are going to apply the superimposed load, so those are the external stresses, okay, due to live load and dead load. External forces due to dead load and live load. These two forces must be counteract to each other. Already we have seen these two forces, okay. The force which we have created, this is an bending moment like this. This is exactly opposite to the behavior of the bending moment. So these two are going to counteract to each other, and if these two are going to counteract to each other, the section will be like this, okay. There is a no bending of section. To develop the internal pre-stressing force, tendons are used, so no reinforcement required in the pre-stress member, okay. Already I have told you, by providing this tendon, okay, and to apply the forces to create the compression forces, either this compression force, if you want to generate, you have to create the forces here to the help of the tendon. So this is called as a tendon. With the help of tendon, initially we have to place the tendon here, we have to stress the tendon, we have to apply load here, and then we have to cut the tendon, and we have to stop the tendon here by using some anchorages, okay. And when you are going to cut the tendon, the action, whatever the where you are pulling the tendon in this side, applying the load, okay, in the tendon, if you are going immediately, you are going to cut the tendon, in that case it is reverse condition, and this forces is going to act at the beam, edges of the beam, okay, and the beam is going to behave like this. Beam is going to behave like this, and this only we can achieve with the help of this tendon, okay. So while designing the pre-stressed concrete member, tendon is very essential, very important thing. And if there is a no tension, see, if you can see this diagram, if there is a no tension, okay, we have used the reinforcement in RCC. Where is a tension, in that part we have provided the steel. But when section is don't have any tension, there no need of reinforcement. So in pre-stressed concrete member, you required only tendons, okay, in the form of steel, okay, or tendon wires in the form of steel, otherwise no extra steel required in the beam, okay. Only concrete and the tendon will get the required strength of the member, okay. Remember this thing. So just we have seen, to develop the internal pre-stressing forces, tendon are used, so no reinforcement required in a pre-stressed concrete member. In order to get the maximum advantage, it is necessary to use not only high strength concrete but also high strength of tensile steel wires, okay. Maximum, if you want to take the maximum advantage of pre-stressed concrete, in that case we have to use high strength of concrete, but also we have to use not only the high strength of concrete, but also high strength of tensile steel wires also we have to use, okay. Now just I have talked about, there is a no tension, we have to design the section like this, there is a no tension. Now see here, the section diagram, the strain diagram which we have calculated for limit state method. If this is neutral axis, okay, we have divided the two zones, compression here and tension here. Now what we want in pre-stressed concrete, there should not be this part, okay. Means the diagram, the strain diagram will behave like this: maximum compression force and no tension here, like this. So full section is in compression. How you are going to get this